What am I talking about? Whenever organism is being mentioned, what are we referring to in biology? I want you to unmute your mic and talk. Anyone? You make it a quick response. Whenever organism is being mentioned in biology, what are we referring to?
Plants and animals.
Plant and animals. So that's why we are talking about plant kingdom and animal kingdom here. So last class we look at the three phylum of what? Uh of plant. Three phyla. So the plural of phylum is phyla. Phylum is singular. So phyla is plural. So the three phyla are what? Talophyta, uh, Bryophyta, and Tracheophyta. So whoever is not in the last class, so this is what we did. So then you can see I put some things in yellow color. So those are not among what we are learning, but you might just benefit from that. So blue green algae, I talked about the last class, that is cyanobacteria. It belongs to the it belongs to the kingdom it belongs to kingdom Monera. So it belongs to the kingdom Monera. Formerly, kingdom Monera was formerly known as Schizophyta. Schizophyta. So note this. Note this. Now, I will not dwell too much on this because we've done it last time. So just note these things in yellow color. Lichens also. So whenever you heard about lichens, it's a symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. Algae and fungi, whereby algae produce oxygen and food from photosynthesis, and fungi provide shelter for the algae to live. So they are benefiting themselves. They are both uh, they are they are they are forming mutual relationship between themselves. So the mutual relationship or symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi is called lichens. So note that also. So this is the second phylum, which is Bryophyta. These are the examples, the characteristics. Likewise, the Tracheophyta. So note this. So mention fen under Pteridophyta. So whoever is not among in the last class, or whoever do not get proper arrangement of the last class notes. So before we leave this now, before we leave this revision, the person can just quickly screenshot or write it down. So fence. So the genus is Dryopteris. So in some question in JAMP, they will not write fen, they will write Dryopteris because the genus is Dryopteris. So know that whenever you see Dryopteris, they are referring to fen. So and then sometimes you see pteridophytes as seedless plants. So that's why I said that they do not produce seed. So whenever you see seedless plant, they are talking about pteridophyta. So seed plants, they are talking about spermatophyta, which is divided into two. The angiosperm, which are flowering plants that have seed enclosed in the fruit, and gymnosperm, which they have their seed outside. So they don't have fruit, but they just have naked seed outside. Example is pine, conifer. I showed you their picture last time. So these three phyla of plants now. So we should know their characteristics. So the characteristics of phylum Talophyta, which is divided into what? The three algae: green algae, chlorophyta, red algae, rhodophyta, and brown algae, phyrophyta. So this is their characteristics. They have the plant body is simple and undifferentiated, called thallus. So a vegetative body. So whenever you see this also, so is undifferentiated plant body. So it's a vegetative body. So thallus, you can see it as also thalloid. So it's some questions. So no true roots, stems, or leaves. Mostly aquatic or found in moist environment. No vascular tissue. Whenever we are talking about vascular tissue, xylem and phloem, cells may be unicellular or multicellular. Reproduce asexually by spore formation and fragmentation. So cell wall usually made of cellulose, or for the algae, or chitin in fungi. So I want to quickly mention this also before we go. Note this: cell wall composition in organisms. So the first one that we have, know it and know it once. Plants. The cell wall of plants contains what we call cellulose. Cellulose is a polysaccharide from carbohydrates. So plant cell wall contains cellulose. Then fungi cell wall contains chitin. Chitin is also a form of polysaccharide. Then bacteria cell wall contains what we call peptidoglycan. So note these things. Plants have cell wall. Their cell wall is made up of cellulose. Fungi have cell wall. Their cell wall is made up of chitin. Bacteria have cell wall also. Their cell wall is made up of what? Peptidoglycan. So plants are eukaryotes, that is, they have true nucleus. Fungi are also eukaryotes, but bacteria, which belongs to the kingdom Monera, they are prokaryotes. So just want you to note this cell wall composition. I hope you've gotten that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the bryophyta, which is the second phylum of the plant kingdom that we mentioned. So they are known as the amphibians of the plant kingdom because they need water for reproduction. For example, like mosses and liverwort. So some plant body have partially differentiated into stem and leaf-like structure, but it is not true stem and true leaf, but it is partially. So there's no true roots. They possess rhizoid. So the meaning of rhizoid is like a root. Is like a root that these plants, they use it to absorb nutrients from the soil, and they use it as anchorage. For example, now if you see a plant growing on another plant, so that root that it attached itself to the plant is called rhizoid. So rhizoid, we also have this in rhizopus. So vascular tissue are absent. That means xylem and phloem are not there. Usually found in moist and shady places. So then gametophyte is the dominant generation. That means we know that bryophyta undergo what? Alternation of generation. While gametophyte is the what? Is the dominant stage. So they reproduce by spores. Fertilization requires water, so embryo is retained within the female plant. Then the tracheophyta, the last phylum. So we are just doing revision. Also called vascular plants include so fen is not there. So okay, yes, fen is there. That's pteridophyta, and tracheophyta consists of two subphylum. That's pteridophyta and what? And spermatophyta, right? So the whole characteristics of the tracheophyta now is that they have well-developed plant body with true roots, stems, and leaves. That means between the three phyla of the plant is trichophyta that have what? Well-developed true roots, stems, and leaves, and they have vascular tissues. They are mostly terrestrial, so they are found like on land, not in water environment. So sporophytes, mostly, not all, because fen are found in water environment. But you are talking about angiosperm like orange, mango, they are found on the land. So sporophyte is the dominant stage. So in the tracheophyta, that's pteridophyte that undergo alternation of generation. So efficient transport of water, minerals, and food. The work of xylem, who knows the work of xylem, is to conduct water from the roots to the leaf, another part of the plant. And the work of phloem is to translocation of manufactured food from the leaf to the root, another part of the plant. So they reproduce by spores or seed. For pteridophytes, they reproduce two spores like fen, and like the angiosperm, like mango tree, orange tree, they reproduce through their seeds. That's why it's not only spore that is here. Can reproduce sexually or asexually. Of course, they undergo alternation of generation. So, and they include pteridophytes, gymnosperm, and angiosperm. So these gymnosperm and angiosperm, they are spermatophyta. So let me show you again. So can you see? So under tracheophyta, we have the what? Pteridophyta, spermatophyta. Under spermatophyta is divided into two: angiosperm, and gymnosperm. So under angiosperm, can you see is divided into monocotyledon and dicotyledon also. So now, so we move straight away to our animal kingdom. So I hope that is clear, right? So now I've told you this: phylum is singular, why phyla is plural. Now, under animal kingdom, we have it classified into two. We have the invertebrate, and we have what? And we have the vertebrate. So invertebrate, who can tell me the meaning of invertebrate and vertebrate? Just unmute your mic and talk.
Invertebrates are animals, plants, while vertebrates are animals with backbone.
Yes, invertebrates are animals without backbone, while vertebrates are animals with backbone. So look at what I wrote here. Backbone. So any one of these, you can see it as vertebral column. It's still the same thing as spinal cord. It's still the same thing as notochord. It's still the same thing as backbone. So any of these words that you see in the option, they are still talking about backbone. It's still referring to what? Vertebrate. I hope you understand that now. So notochord is a mesodermally rod-like structure that runs the length of what? Of an organism. So is still backbone. Now we now have, we said after kingdom is what? Is phylum, right? Then after phylum is class. After class is order. After order is family. After family is genus. After genus is species. So now this kingdom, we are dealing with kingdom animalia now. So kingdom animalia consists of two major phylum. which is phylum Invertebrata and phylum Vertebrata. So now under these two major phylum, we have the subphylums under the invertebrates, and we have under what? Under the vertebrate. So under each of those phylum, we have classes. Under the classes, we have order. But for the JAMB, the syllabus of JAMB, they will not ask you order. They will only ask you about the kingdom, phylum, class, and sometimes majorly genus and species, because the genus and species makes up the scientific name of the organism. Let me just ask you, what's the scientific name of human being?
Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens. So we have different like that. Lion is Panthera leo, rat is Ratus ratus. So we have like different Ascaris lumbricoides, round drum. So this scientific name is being derived from what? From two names, from two things, from the genus of that organism and from the species. So we used to call it, from the genus, we will call it generic name, and the species we will call it specific name. So this is under binomial nomenclature and taxonomy. So binomial nomenclature will help us to what? To understand taxonomy. Taxonomy is the method of classifying and naming organisms, and the scientist that proposed this taxonomy is a Swedish naturalist called Carl Linus or Carolus Linus. He proposed taxonomy that organisms should be named like this, and that's the naming system that biologists has adopted. For example, all organisms have their scientific name. Fruit fly has the scientific name of Drosophila melanogaster. So you might see in your option, they will just say that Ascaris lubricoides, and you don't know that it's round. So we have to know those organisms with their scientific name. What am I trying to say? So that JAMB will only ask you for the kingdom, phylum, class, genus, and species. So that the genus and species, they are very common. They are very common because they form the scientific name of organism. And who can define species for me? Species is one of the questions of JAMB, but they will just say a group of closely related organisms that can interbreed freely is what? They will write genus, they will write species, they will write every other option. So I said taxonomy is the study of classifying and naming organisms. So, and the scientist that proposed it is Carl Linus. Let me just, I think I have one document here that quickly summarize that. So look at something. I just talk about this. So this is for the WAEC students. I know you have done your WAEC already, so you know all this. So when we are writing it on a paper. So you write it like this: first letter, capital letter; second letter start with small letter. So when you are typing, you write it in a slant form, italics. So you can see this Carl Linus, Carl or Carolus Linus. You can be asked, he is the father of taxonomy. He's father of taxonomy. So let's go back. Now, I said this kingdom Animalia is being divided into what? Vertebrate, invertebrate, and what? And vertebrate. Now, we have how many phylums under invertebrate? We have one. Even before Porifera, we still have protozoa. So phylum protozoa, e.g. amoeba. So now, but this one majorly some textbooks, you see that they will start with phylum Porifera. So, but protozoa too, they are invertebrate because they don't have backbone. So the kingdom Monera and kingdom the organisms the organism in what protozoa, they are unicellular organism, they don't have backbone. So they are even at the cellular level, they are unicellular, they are not at the tissue or organ system level. So that's organization of life. Now let's start with it. The reason why I put protozoa as one of the phylum under invertebrate is that in some textbook we can see it like that. So, but most textbook we start with Porifera. Porifera. So phylum Porifera. That's the first thing. We are under invertebrate now. Don't look at vertebrate. We are still under invertebrate. I want to explain it. So what's the first phylum I mentioned under vertebrate? I mentioned protozoa that some textbook used to classify it like that, but I'm starting with Porifera. The second one is Coelenterata. It's not Coelenterata, it's Coelenterata. Formerly Coelenterata, but now it is referred to as Nidea. Phylum Nidea. So example phylum Nidea that disrupted my network. Are you following me? Kindly thumb up
Yes,
if you
sir.
are still with me. Now, I said formerly the name was called Coelenterata. Even till now, you see we seeing Jam still writing Coelenterata, but mostly they will write Cnidaria. Just know whenever you see Coelenterata and Cnidaria, they are the same thing. So example is Hydra, Cora, jellyfish, comb jelly. Comb jelly is also there. Now, so example of Porifera is sponges. Sponges belong to the phylum Porifera. So they are all invertebrates. The third invertebrate is Platyhelminthes. Phylum Platyhelminthes. Example of this is flatworms, tapeworm, liver fluke. So the fourth one is Nematoda. Phylum Nematoda. So they are referred to as round drum. Platyhelminthes are referred to as flatworm. I will explain that further. So the fifth one is Annelida, phylum Annelida. Example is earthworm. The sixth one is Arthropoda, phylum Arthropoda. We have insects, we have spider, like that, like that. But I would like to mention, okay, let's as we go. So we have mollusca. So we have different classes under it also. We have Echinodermata. So how many have we counted now? 8. So there are 8 phylums under invertebrates, provided we note that protozoa are also among the vertebrates, but we bring out 8 phylums. 8 phylums. So example of Echinodermata is starfish, bristol star, like that, like that. So you can denote them with this. So P for Porifera, Coelenterata or Cnidaria. This will be for Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. So now look at vertebrates. Under vertebrates, we only have one phylum. Under vertebrates, we only have what? One phylum. But under invertebrates now, we have like 8 phylums. That shows invertebrates are more on the are more in this world. They are numerous in number than the vertebrates. So can you see, like, they are divided into 8 phyla. So and human being, I say vertebrates just have only one phylum, which is called phylum Chordata. So it is this phylum Chordata that now it's divided into what? Into 5 classes. After phylum is class. So we have seen the kingdom. Kingdom is what? Animalia. Class is phylum is what? Chordata. Class, it can be Pisces, it can be amphibia, it can be apes, it can be reptilia, it can be mammalia. So Pisces refers to as fishes, e.g. fishes. And we now have different type of fishes. So we have some bony fish, we have tilapia fish, and they have diverse habitats. Like we have 3 types of aquatic habitat. We have the freshwater habitat, we have the marine habitat, and we have the estuarine or brackish water. So note that we have the freshwater habitat. Example of freshwater habitat is pond, stream, river, lakes. So we have some organisms that they are specific in this habitat, like tilapia fish. So like tilapia fish, like shark. So they are what? They are in fresh water. So marine water, because fresh water is not salty, is not a salt water, but marine water is a salt water, like sea, like ocean. That's where you have your whale, you have those eye organisms like octopus, like that. So estuarine now, or brackish water, is a kind of water that is not too salty and it is not too fresh water. Now, not too marine or not too fresh water is the intermediary between fresh water and marine habitat, marine water. So that's estuarine or brackish water. So in some, I don't know, there are some fishes, type of fish. Just let me teach you, because we have bony fishes. So they are referred to as class Ostectes. Because you can see it anywhere, so that you know that this Ostectes, they can say that class Ostectes. So they are still referring to what? Pisces. So but which type of Pisces? Bony fish. So this is where we have tilapia fish and shark. They are bony fish. They are bony fishes. So we also have cartilaginous fish. Cartilaginous fish. But they are referred to as chondrites. Chondrites. Let me bring it down. Chondrites. So e.g. we have ray fish, and so on. So amphibia, example of amphibia is what? Frog. We have toad. We have salamander. Let me so I hope you are following me. And etc for amphibian. So the class is amphibia. They are being referred to as amphibian. So apes are birds. So then reptilia, they are called reptiles. Reptilia class. The class it ends with A, amphibia, reptilia, mammalia. But if you are now seeing N, mammalian. So that's what they are refers to: amphibians, reptiles. So example of reptiles, we have the lizard. So those animals that walk on their belly, that crawl on their belly. So we have lizards, we have snakes, we have tortoise, turtle, we have like those all animals that crawl on their belly. So they are reptiles. So then we have mammalia. So mammalia, uh we'll still look at their characteristics one after the other. E.g. rat, cow, human, like that. So all organisms that breastfeed their young one, they have mammary gland. So that, and one of the unique feature of mammals, take note of this, it used to come out. One of the unique features of mammal is the presence of ear, H-A-I-R, presence of ear on their body. If you see rats, you see ear on its body. If you see cow, the body is covered with ear, and also human being. So you see ear coming out from our body. So that's that on vertebrates. So let's now look at the classes of these invertebrates. We are even look at the phylum and class of what under vertebrates. So we've just look at phylum under invertebrate. Let's look at the classes under it. The classes, the examples, the level of organization. This is how I classified it. The classes, the example, level of organization, and the key characteristics of each phylum. You pardon me. I have to close this. But this is where I detect your reactions. But when I close this now, I won't be able to detect your reaction again. But just make sure you are following me. So now we have the phylum. So I said that protozoa is classified under the vertebrate. So we have looked at the classes under the protozoa yesterday. So Sarcodina, Mastigophora, the flagellata. So the flagellate, those that use flagella. So example is amoeba, euglena, paramecium, like that. So the level of organization, unicellular level. So we have level of organization of what? Cell, tissue, organ system, organism. So cell, tissue, organ system, organism. So that's organization of life. So germ layer, the meaning of germ layer, we have three germ layers. So we have the ectoderm, which is the outermost layer. We have the mesoderm and endoderm. So in the germ layers. So these are germ layers. So then the coelom type. The meaning of coelom is body cavity. Body cavity. So, and also body symmetry. The meaning of symmetry is line. So I know you'll have read about symmetry in your mathematics, symmetry, like line of symmetry. So I will explain it. If we are talking about, okay, let me quickly explain it before we move to it fully. Let me quickly explain what we mean by. So now the first thing I have here is germ layers. Germ layers. I can't see your reaction again now. So I hope you are following me, sha. So germ layers, I said that it contains three things: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Okay, let me bring you here. There are some organisms. There are some organisms that they have this germ layer structure. Don't mind my diagram. So there are some that have this structure. And there are some that have this. So now the outermost part of the layer is called ectoderm. Is called ectoderm. So blah blah blah. So the innermost part of the layer is called endoderm. Endoderm. So blah blah blah, yeah, that. So here now we are having 3 layers. The first one, this first one is ectoderm. Ecto. This second one here is called mesogly. Mesogly. So this inner one is still referred to as what? Endoderm. Now this one too is ectoderm. So this inner one is called mesoderm. Don't mind my writing. So mesoderm. This inner one is called endoderm. So here we have only 2 layers. Here we have 3 layers, but one is false. Instead of this this type of organism to have mesoderm, it has mesogly. So what do you say? I hope you can see my screen. What do you say? Can you hear me properly and you can see my screen? Okay, let me continue. Should I continue? Okay. So look at this structure. Look at this jam layer. We have 3, but the one at the middle, before the inner one, between the outer one and the inner one, you see that you have a scattered pouches. 1, 2, 3, 4 in between the ectoderm and what? And the endoderm. So that layer is called mesogly. Is a false mesoderm. So if you look at this third jam layer, you see that it is not having any scattered patches. It is not. So we have ectoderm and we have mesoderm as the middle layer, and we have endoderm. So this one make complete 3. This one is 3, but first 2. It has one first layer. So now any organism that has so inside will be what? Will be cavity, the body cavity. Any organism that has 2 layers will be called diploblastic organism, because the meaning of di is 2. So any organism that have 3 layers complete, not 4, so not like having mesogly in between. Any organism that have 3 layer, that's triploblastic organism. Triploblastic organism. I'll still show you in the Word document. So now we'll now say that let's come to that's jam layers. That's jam layers. That is ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So body cavity now. So body cavity, which is coelom. So this one that has ectoderm and endoderm, which is diploblastic, is what? Is acoelomate, does not have body cavity. But the one that has false mesoderm in between will be pseudocoelomate, because it's supposed to have coelom, it's supposed to have body cavity, but the body cavity is false. The meaning of pseudo is false. So the meaning of coelom is body cavity. So we now say that, so coelom, any organism that have coelom, they have true coelom, is called coelomate. Any organism that have false coelom is called pseudocoelomate. Any organism that does not have coelom, which is body cavity, is called acoelomate. So triploblastic now, they will be coelomate because they have what? They have true coelom. So which is mesoderm, the middle layer. So the organism that have mesogly, which is false mesoderm, they will be pseudocoelomate. So why the one that does not have even have any middle layer? So there will be what? There will be acoelomate. Let's now come here so that you can get it. Or let me explain body symmetry. So I want to confirm if you've gotten, so the germ layers are ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So depending on the germ layer, organism may be, let me quickly on this. I think someone is not getting it. Okay, organism may be, let me go to this one again. This type of organism, this type of organism, how many layers can we see here? How many layers is here? Oh yeah. I need your response.
2 layers.
2 layers, Abi. So now that means this organism will be called diploblastic organism. Do you get that? Diploblastic organism. How many layers do we have here?
3 layers.
3 layers.
3 layers. But we have one as false. Abi?
Yes, sir.
We have the middle layer as the first layer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it will not be regarding diploblastic. We will not say that it is triploblastic because the middle layer is false. We will not give it any name. We will leave it. We will now come to this one. How many layers do we have here? 3, Abi?
Yes, sir.
Is he having mesogly or mesoderm at the middle layer?
Mesoderm.
Is it mesogly or mesoderm?
Mesoderm.
Mesoderm. That means mesoderm is a true layer. It's not a false layer. So we will now say that this organism, right, the 3 layer is complete. This organism will now be called triploblastic organism. Now we now have 2 types of organism: diploblastic organism or what? Triploblastic organism. According to what? The layer they have. Now, I now want to, that one is triploblastic and diploblastic. And I want, that's germ layer for germ layer. And I want to mention coelom. Like I want to teach you how to get for coelom. We are done with this germ layer. So we now want to look at coelom type. That's body cavity. So we are still going to use our structure. We are still going to use our structure. We'll say that anyone that has 2 layers like that, which is diploblastic, we'll say that it is, the one that has 2 layers, which is diploblastic, we will say that it does not have body cavity. It does not have coelom inside. It does not have coelom like this. This last layer is the coelom. It does not have coelom. It's only 2 layers it has. So we say that This one that is diploblastic, it is acoelomate. It is what? Acoelomate. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So it is acoelomate like that regarding the coelom, body cavity. Now, this one that has 3 layers, but one first layer in the middle, it will be pseudocoelomate because it's having first coelom. It will be pseudocoelomate. So it can also be classified as tripoblastic. So don't let it convince you. This one is diploblastic, this one is tripoblastic. But when we say that this one is pseudocoelomate, they will now refer to it as a diploblastic because it has 3 layers. Even if one is false, they will still say that it is tripoblastic. So why the one that have like complete 3 layer is not having any first layer, we'll say that it is coelomate. This one now, it is coelomate. So if I now show you, that's germ layer and body cavity. The last thing that we use to classify this organism under invertebrate is body symmetry. Body what? Body symmetry. So body symmetry can be divided into 2. Body symmetry can be divided. Okay, let me write coelom so that you can understand now. Coelom, body cavity. You have to fast a little bit. We must complete this topic today. So germ layer, it can be diploblastic or triploblastic. Why coelom? It can be acoelomate, that is organism that does not have coelom, or pseudocoelomate, organism that have false coelom, and coelomate, organism that have true coelom, body cavity. So we now have body symmetry again. So I've told you earlier that body symmetry is a line. Like we have asymmetry. Organism can be asymmetrical, symmetrical. I will explain the body symmetry. Well, let me write this out first. Organism might be radial. It might have radial symmetry, and bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. Now, what is the meaning of asymmetry? If an organism cannot be cut into any equal halves, either in the middle or any part of the body, if you cut it, it will not give you any equal halves. That means the organism is asymmetry. For example, now if you cut orange, you can cut it into, if you cut it at the middle, you can cut it into 2 equal abi. You have one at your right hand and you have one at your left hand, right? Answer me. If you cut orange into 2, you have equal halves, right? So just say, let's say orange is an organism. So if orange cannot be cut into equal halves in any plane, like in any plane, we cut the orange from the middle. We can cut it horizontally, we can cut it vertically, we can decide to cut it diagonally, like it will give us equal halves. But if that organism, any organism, cannot be cut into any equal halves, that organism is said to be asymmetrical. That is, it cannot be divided into equal halves. So line of symmetry cannot pass through it. Now, when organism is said to be radially symmetry, when it can be cut into either horizontally, either diagonally, either vertically. If you cut it like this, let me just use this as example so that you understand. So let's say this is an organism. If you cut it like this, you have equal halves. This upper part and lower part, they will be equal. If you cut it like this part will be equal to this part. Even if you cut it like this part will be equal to this part. Even if you cut it like this part will be equal to this part. That means any organism that can be cut into two equal halves in any plane, not only at the middle, not only into two. If you cut it like this, if this is an organism, if you cut it like this, 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 it will give you everything will give you equal halves. That organism is said to be radial, to have radial symmetry. Why any organism that is like this, you can only cut it in one plane to give you equal halves. Like this one plane, this one will give you one half, this one will give you the other half. Or you cut it like this upper part will give you one half, the lower part will give you another half. You cannot cut it like this and get it equal halves. You cannot cut it like this and get equal halves. It's only one plane. So any organism that will be cut in one plane and give you equal halves is said to be bilateral. But the one that will be cut in any plane and it will still give you equal halves is called radial symmetry. So now when we are now talking about this organism, I will say that this organism is asymmetrical, this organism is radially symmetric, this organism is bilateral, this organism is pseudociliate, this organism is tripoblastic, doublastic. Now you now know what we mean by those terms. I hope you get this. Okay, let's now go. So I'll not explain this again. We'll just be seeing that, okay, so phylum are diploblastic. So I'll not explain what is diploblastic again. I've let you know those terms now. So now let's come. I'll have to close this one again. I have to close this one again so that you can see it very well. So I said that let's put protozoa as the first phylum of the invertebrate we are learning. So protozoa, we have looked at the example, level of organization in cellular level. Germ layer, protozoa does not have any germ layer. Does not have germ layer. It does not have ectoderm, mesoderm, or endoderm, or kidney. So it does not have any germ layer. Body symmetry, they say mostly are asymmetrical and some are radial. Type of coelom, acoelomate, that is, they have no body cavity. What are the characteristic features of phylum protozoa? Organisms like amoeba, euglena, paramecium, plasmodium, they are unicellular in nature, that is, they consist of only one cell. They are microscopic, they can be seen with the naked eye, except with the aid of microscope. They are mostly aquatic, like amoeba. Amoeba is aquatic organism. Or parasitic, like plasmodium. Plasmodium is one that causes malaria and infects mosquito. So the move or organ of locomotion is pseudopodia, that's for amoeba. Flagella, that's for euglena, or cilia, that's for paramecium. They reproduce mainly by binary fission, like amoeba, paramecium, they undergo binary fission. Nutrition may be holozoic, like in amoeba. Amoeba ingests food, that's holozoic nutrition. I've taught you yesterday or day before yesterday. Saprophytic, there's some organism that we also feed on their decaying organic matter. Or parasitic nutrition, that's what plasmodium. I hope you understand that. Now let's the one that will classify as the first phylum under invertebrate now is Porifera. So they are referred to as sponges. This is the class under Porifera. This is the phylum class. Let me delete this one first. At first, can I delete this? Okay, let me leave it. So this is phylum, this is class. They have class Calcaria. Jambi will not ask you the class of Porifera. Example, sponges. So they will not ask you these names. They will just put sponges in the example. So they occur at the cellular level. We said that we have organization of life as cell, tissue, organ system, and organism. So cell, tissue, organ system. So no germ layer also. They don't have germ layer. They are also asymmetrical, and they are acoelomate. They don't have coelom. They have no body cavity. What is the characteristics of phylum Porifera? They have pores. They have numerous pores on their body. Pores like hole, hole, hole in their body, which is referred to as ostia, where water enter. And they also have cells called choanocytes. They have internal skeleton made up of spicules. They are filter feeders. They are exclusively marine. I will show you the full characteristics of each phylum. These are just few. I will just let you know some things that are peculiar to germ on each of the phylum. Just know that Porifera, they are referred to as sponges. Example is sponges. Note that they are asymmetrical. Note that they are acoelomate. They occur at the cellular level and they have no germ layer. Also, the meaning of Porifera, it comes from the word porous and ferrous. It's a Greek word. Porous means pore, P-O-R-E, hole. Ferrous means bearing. So pore-bearing animals, they are referred to as Porifera. Pore-bearing animal, that is animal that has pores on their body. They have holes on their body. They are referred to as what? Porifera. Pore-bearing. They are called pore-bearing animal from their name Porifera, and they are sponges. They are majorly referred to as sponges. They are exclusively marine. They live in marine habitat, saltwater habitat, like ocean and sea. I hope you understand that. Let me come here. Let me see your reaction. Do you understand that? If you are following me, kindly thumb up. Okay. Let's continue. So the second one, which is Cnidarian, I told you it is formally referred to as Coelenterata. So we have this class. This class is under Cnidaria. We have class Hydrozoa. That's where Hydra is. JAMB can ask you the class of Hydra. It is Hydrozoa. So we have Hydrozoa, we have Scyphozoa, we have Anthozoa, and we have Cubozoa. So Hydra belongs to the class. Hydra is an example of Cnidarian that we have. Hydra belongs to the class Hydrozoa. So we also have Aurelia, we also have Adamsia. So anyone you see from this organism, you know that they belong to the phylum Cnidarian or Coelenterata. So it is very important that you know that the level of organization of Cnidarian, like Hydra, Aurelia, Adamsia, is tissue level of organization. Tissue level. So Cnidarian are diploblastic organism. They are diploblastic in nature. Will I have to explain what is diploblastic for you again? No, I'll just tell you that they are diploblastic in nature because I've already told you what we mean by diploblastic. I know that you'll be coming across this. That's why I explained it earlier. So the germ layer. So they have diploblastic germ layer. So they are also radial symmetry. They are radial symmetry. They are acoelomate. I've told you. Look at this again. So organism that has only these two layers, so does not have coelom, does not have cavity, it will be acoelomate. Organism that has two germ layer, which is diploblastic, will be what? Acoelomate. I've told you. So they are acoelomate. They are radial symmetry because they can be cut into equal halves in any plane. So let's look at their characteristics. They have nidocytes as their stinging cells. We'll still look at the full characteristics at the bottom, at the lower part. Nidocytes, it can also be referred to as nematocytes. because they have nematoblast or nidoblast as their what, as a structure that they use to prevent themselves from prey. So Hydra, Hydra has tentacles. Hydra have tentacles that it can use to capture its prey. So in that tentacles, we have a stinging cells called nidocytes. Jam used to ask. So they have gastrovascular cavity. They have two forms. They can exist in polyp and medusa form. So know that also. They are mostly marine. They live in marine habitat. So formerly, they used to divide phylum Nidaria into two. They will say that we have Ctenophora. So, but it is still the same thing. So they now classify modernly. They now classify Ctenophora under Nidaria. They have joined it together. So you can see Ctenophores in JAMB. So they are still referring to as Nidaria. So that's it. We will leave that. So the next one that we are going to, the next phylum is Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Now, Platyhelminthes are referred to as flatworms because they have dorsoventrally flattened body. They have dorsoventrally flattened body. Their body is flat. That's why they are called flatworms. They are worms. So they have three classes. We have three classes under phylum Platyhelminthes. We have the class Turbellaria, which are the free living organism. They are the free living organism. So Planaria is an example of Turbellaria. Planaria belongs to the class Turbellaria. We also have Fasciola. We used to call it Fasciola hepatica. That's the scientific name of liver fluke. Please, I might not have the time to mention it again. That's why I'm taking my time to write it now. Fasciola hepatica. So is scientific name of what? Liver fluke. So Taenia belongs to the class Cestoda. These two, Trematoda and Cestoda, they are parasitic in nature. While Turbellaria, they are free living. Because Planaria are free living organism. But you see liver fluke and Taenia. So Taenia is the scientific name of tapeworm. Tapeworm. Note that. Tapeworm under the phylum Platyhelminthes class Cestoda. That's where we have tapeworm. So we now have two species of tapeworm. We have Taenia solium. Taenia solium. The host of Taenia solium is pig. Note that. Is pig. And the meat of pig is pork. Why another species is Taenia saginata. Taenia saginata. That's cattle. That's cattle tapeworm. The meat of cattle is beef. So it used to come out in Jambu. Anywhere you hear Taenia solium, the host is pig. The secondary host. Taenia saginata, it affects cattle. The host is cattle. Now they can just say that pork tapeworm. They are referring to the meat of pig. So they are still referring meat of pig. They are still referring to Taenia solium. They can say that beef tapeworm. They are still referring to what? Taenia saginata. I hope that is clear. So they exist at the organ level of organization. They are tripoblastic. They are bilateral symmetry. They are bilateral symmetry. They are acoelomate. So they have dorsoventrally flattened body. Can see it in their characteristics now. They have incomplete gut. They have flame cell for excretion. Flame cell. It is flatworm. Flatworm. Example, tapeworm that use flame cell for excretion. Note that many are parasitic. That is, you can see two classes are parasitic. Don't say that I'm rushing, I'm fasting. Like you are, it is expected you have been taught this So, but we are just uh doing revision and let you understand some things more so that you follow me. I can't make it slow like that. So because we still have many things to, we must finish this topic today and start another topic next class, inshallah. So that's for platyhelminths. If you need the materials, it can be dropped in the group, or even the video is being recorded. Now let's go to nematoda, phylum nematoda. Long time ago they are being referred to as helminthes, and nematoda are called round drums. Platyhelminths are called flatworms because of their flattened body. Nematoda are called round drums because of their round body, their cylindrical shape. They have no classes. Round drum have no classes. So example of round drum is what? Ascaris lumbricoides. Anywhere you see Ascaris lumbricoides, they are talking about round drum. Oh. Ascaris lumbricoides. We also have Wuchereria bancrofti. Bancrofti. Let me look at our time. Our time is fast spent. Enterobius also. So we have this Ascaris lumbricoides. The common name is round drum. Ascaris lumbricoides, the common name is round drum. That round drum that lives in our stomach. Human is the host of this round drum. So every one of us, we have round drum in our stomach. Now we can't do without them. Although we have in our stomach, we have HCl, hydrochloric acid, which is toxic, which can be toxic to this round drum. But because there's adaptation, every organism will shall adapt to their environment. The body of this round drum is being covered by cuticle, 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 which protects the body of the round drum from the digestive juice of the host, which of the hydrochloric acid in our stomach. It prevents it from getting to the body of the round drum because of the cuticle in their body. Jam used to ask, hold it. So they belong to the level of organization of organ system. Their jam layer, they are tripoblastic in nature and they are bilateral. They are bilateral symmetry. So the type of coelom, they are pseudocoelomates. They have cylindrical body. Their body is unsegmented. They don't have segmented body. They are even mentioned here in the platyhelminths that they have. Okay, let's go. They have complete digestive tract. They have tough cuticle. Can you see? Tough cuticle that cover their body, many parasitic forms. They have, okay, that's that on round drum. That's that on round drum. Let's come to the phylum Annelida. Phylum Annelida, they are segmented worm. We have 3 classes under phylum Annelida. The first one is Polychaete. The second one is Oligochaete, and the third one is Irudine. Irudine. So Polychaete, example is Nereis, that's logworm. So when you see this organism, you know that they belongs to the phylum Annelida. The class Polychaete. Ferretima also is earthworm, so it belongs to the class Oligochaete. So jam can be so funny in the sense that they want to refer to earthworm. They will now say that Oligochaete belongs to the phylum. When you do not know the class of earthworm, you will now be looking what's Oligochaete. What's Oligochaete? So earthworm belongs to the what? Phylum Oligochaete. So whenever you heard of Oligochaete, they are referring to what? Earthworm. So we can have some species as scientific name Ferretima, and we have some scientific name, and Jam can also put another scientific name for earthworm. Another scientific name earthworm have, the common earthworm, is called Lumbricus terrestris. Lumbricus terrestris. So whenever you see it, they are referring to what? Earthworm. They will not write earthworm. They will say that one of the following examples belong to the class oligochaete. They will write, they may write snail, they will write roundworm, they will write flatworm, they will write lumbricus terresis. Because when they write earthworm, you know that earthworm belongs to oligochaete. But when they write this, so they want to use it to convince you. Another one we have is the class Irudine. So we used to call it leash. Blood sucking leash. We have blood sucking leash. Blood sucking leash. It's used to suck blood. The leash is parasitic. So it belongs to the class Irudine, phylum Annelida. So all these one, they are segmented. If you see the body of earthworm is segmented, they have clitellum that secrete cocoon. So don't let me forget, in this trematoda, in this cestoda tapeworm is very parasitic to the extent that it has hook and sucker in the head. So the sucker is used for attachment. The use is used for sucking blood of organism. So that hook and sucker, they can ask you what is the function of hook and sucker in tapeworm. It uses it for strong attachment to the what? To the host, to the digestive tract of the host. That's one of its adaptation. Now let's continue in the phylum Annelida. So they are tripoblastic, they are bilateral, they have two cilium, which they are ciliomate, and they have metameric segmentation. The meaning of metameric is the repetition of serial repetition of segments in the body of organism. So it's called metameric segmentation. So it can come out in JAM that which of the phylum undergo metameric segmentation. So it is phylum Annelida. An example are the what? They are earthworm, leash, and what? And earthworm, leash, and Nereis polychaete. So they have closed circulatory system. They have setae. You can see it as chaete. In JAMB, if you see this chaete, or you see setae, or you see parapodia, it is used for movement in annelid. It is used for movement in annelid. So any organism in the phylum Annelida is called, they are referred to as annelids. In the phylum Nematoda is called nematode. Arthropoda is called arthropods. So, and they use nephridia for excretion. Why did I say that flatworm is as excretion then? What did I call it? Don't forget, flame cells. So let's go to phylum Arthropoda. This phylum Arthropoda, they are referred to as arthropod. They are the largest phylum of the phylum invertebrates. Among the 8 invertebrates that we have, is Arthropoda that have the largest organism. So that's where we have insects. How many insects can you count? In the soil, on the ground, everywhere. Flying insects, walking insects, those. So they are the largest of the phylum. So we have 4 classes under phylum Arthropoda. The first class is class Insecta, which we have the insect, housefly, termites, fly, grasshopper, cricket, like that. We have crustacean. Under crustacean, we have the prawn, we have the crab, brown crab, and others. Arachnida, we have spider, we have scorpion. Under class Arachnida, spider, scorpion. Under Myriapoda, we have millipede and centipede. So note that. So they belong to the level of organization of organ system. They are tripoblastic in nature, they are bilaterally symmetric, and they have true cilium. They are ciliomate. They are ciliomate. So they are one of the characteristics that they are the largest phylum. They have jointed appendages. You can be asked, what is the Major characteristics of arthropoda. It is what? They have jointed appendages. They have segmented body and jointed appendages. Why do they have jointed appendages? The meaning of arthropoda, arthros means jointed, podos means appendages. So because they have their body segmented into head, thorax, and abdomen. Their body is have 3 segments: head, head region, thorax region, and abdomen. So, and one of the important characteristics is that they have chitinous exoskeleton. Chitinous exoskeleton. If you are being asked what phylum has chitinous exoskeleton, that's arthropoda. Another phylum is mollusca. Another phylum is mollusca. So we have different classes there, but JAMB we only have ask you, I think, 1 or 2 classes. The major one that JAMB will ask you is class gastropoda, where we have snail. Let me put snail. So African land giant snail. So belongs to the class gastropoda. That's why JAMB may want to refer to snail in the option. They will just say gastropods. So you know an example of gastropod, or you don't know it. So you don't know that they are talking about snail. So another class they might ask you is cephalopoda. So that's octopus. Octopus belongs to class cephalopoda under the phylum mollusca. Mollusca are called mollusk. You see them using mollusk. They're talking about mollusca, snail, octopus, like that, slug. So they belong to the level of organ system. The germ layer, they are triploblastic in nature. That is, they have 3 germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Body symmetry, they are bilateral symmetry. That is, they can only be cut into 2 equal halves in only one plane. And they have true coelom. They are coelom. They have body cavity. So their body is soft. It's covered with shell. So they have unsegmented body. Their body is not segmented. They have mantle that secretes shell. The mantle secretes shell, and they have muscular foot for movement, locomotion. They have radula for feeding. The organ of feeding in snail is radula. The organ of movement in snail is muscular foot. The organ of respiration in snail, so it is lungs that develop from mantle, but JAMB will write mantle for you. So it is the organ of respiration. Let's continue, or before we even continue to the last phylum of the invertebrate. Let me see your reaction if you have been following me since, because can't see your reaction since. Okay, that's good. Let's continue. So, and finally, we have the phylum Echinodermata, echinoderms. They are referred to as echinoderms. So we have class Asteroidea, Ophiroidea, Echinoidea, Holoturoidea, Crinoidea. Majorly, JAMB will not ask you of their classes. They will not ask you of their classes. So they just write. So examples. These are just the scientific name of the examples. Where we have Bristol star. We have starfish. So we have if I may ask you, anyone who knows, let me come here so that I will see your reaction. Have anyone heard about sea anemone and sea cucumber? Sea anemone before? So that sea anemone, they belong. So sea anemone, what is their phylum? sea anemone, because I just remember refer to sea anemone. What of sea cucumber? Have you heard about that before? No. Okay. So let me now clarify it so that whenever you see them. So visual star, starfish, sea cucumber. They are example of echinodermata. Why sea anemone belongs to the phylum Cnidaria. You know, we say we have hydra, we have coral, we have sea anemone. Sea anemone belongs to what? So they can ask you, what is sea anemone diploblastic or tripoblastic? Is it radially symmetric or bilateral? Is it coelomate or acoelomate? Like, you should know that. Does it occur at the level of organ or tissue or organ system? So I will summarize everything so that whenever you heard of any phylum, you quickly know maybe it is diploblastic or bilateral or radial symmetry or coelomate or pseudocoelomate or acoelomate. You quickly know. I will give you a code at the end of the class. So echinoderms, they are tripoblastic in nature. So adults are radial while their larvae are bilateral, but we'll take note of the adults. So if you are being asked, except if specified, if they did not specify that echinodermata larvae, are they radial symmetry, are they bilateral, or they are asymmetry or anything? So if they specify of their larvae, you pick bilateral. But if they just ask verbatim that echinodermata phylum are that symmetry, so you choose radial because they are referring to the adult. So, and they are coelomate, they have characteristics. They are exclusively marine. They live in the marine habitat. Bristol star, sea animal, sea cucumber, starfish, they live in the marine habitat. And they have endoskeleton made up of calcareous endoskeleton, like calcium carbonate. So calcareous ossicus endoskeleton, they have that. Take note of this. JAMB used to ask this. So presence of water vascular system with tube feet for locomotion. They use tube feet for locomotion. So feeding, respiration, they have spiny skin and high regenerative power. If their body cut, they can regenerate another part of the body. So here I now summarize all their characteristics in full here. Can you see phylum Protozoa? Phylum Porifera, which are referred to as sponges, mostly symmetrical, like that. Phylum Cnidarian, formerly Coelenterata, radial symmetry, diploblastic, two germ layer. Body has a single mouth opening. So in Cnidarian, so they have a single opening. Their mouth is used for their anus. They use their mouth for feeding and they use it to ingest waste products. So they have single opening. The Cnidarian, they have stinging cells called nematocysts. So anywhere you see nematocyst or nidocyte or nidoblast or nematoblast, anyone again. So it is. Can you see that this one and this one are the same? This is the organ that secretes. Nidoblast secrete the stinging cell nidocytes, while nematoblast secrete the stinging cells nematocyst. So you can see any of these options in them. So they are single cell of what? Cnidaria. So I call the tissue level of organization Hydra, jellyfish, sea anemone, comb jelly. So phylum Platemitis, they are referred to as body, bilateral symmetry, tripoblastic but acoelomate, incomplete digestive system. They don't have anus also. They only have mouth for feeding and for ingestion. They are mostly parasitic like planet. Let me ask you this question. What class does Planaria fall under Platemitis? What class? You can tell me. Let me on this thing again. Oh yeah, we've done it too. We've just done it too. What class does Planaria belongs to? Tobellaria. Tobellaria is still above. Tapeworm belongs to the class Cestoda, while liver fluke belongs to the class Trematoda. What is the scientific name? Or let me say zoological name. If it is plant, we will say botanical name. What is the scientific name of liver fluke? A quick one.
Fasciola hepatica.
Fasciola hepatica. That's good. How many species of tapeworm do we have? And what are they? What are the name?
We have two species, Tinea solium and Tinea saginata.
Tinea solium affect which organism?
A pig,
Tinea saginata affect which organism?
cattle.
Cattle. That's very good. That's their host. I hope others are also following. So phylum Nematoda, they are referred to as round drum because they have cylindrical body, they are unsegmented body, bilateral symmetry, they are tripoblastic and pseudocoelomate. They have complete digestive system, they have mouth and anus. Their body is covered with a tough cortical which prevent them from digestive host juice of the host. So Ascaris lumbricoides, hookworm. We even have blood fluke. Who knows schistosoma? You have heard about schistosomiasis before. How many of you have heard about schistosomiasis before? So they are also blood fluke. Blood fluke, they are also Platemitis, flatworm. Our time is very, very fast spent. They are referred to as schistosoma. Schistosoma. Soma SP. So they cause schistosomiasis. Schistosomiasis. So tetanus fly cause tetanus fly. Black fly cause trypanosomiasis. So all those diseases, take note of them. Jam used to ask. So phylum Annelida, they have metameric segmentation. They have all these earthworm leash, tripoblastic, true coelomate, arthropoda. They are the largest phylum. They have jointed appendages, heart, chitinous exoskeleton. They have open circulatory system. When they have their blood as hemocoel, their blood is referred to as, is called hemocoel. You can see it. No, their blood cavity. Their blood cavity is called hemocoel. Why their blood is called hemolymph? Why blood is called hemolymph? Hemolymph. So if you mash cockroach, you will see a whitish, thick liquid that will come out of the body. So that's their blood. It is called hemolymph. They respire through tracheas. Some use gills like crabs. Some use book lung, like spider, scorpion use book lungs. The arachnid, the crustacean use gills. The prawn, the prawn and the crabs. The trachea is used by the insects. So you can see it as trachea or spiracle. So note that. In mollusca, so I've told you the characteristics also. Then also echinoderm. I've told you these characteristics. So let's now the summary that we will use to end today's class is that go and know that from phylum Porifera to Echinodermata, note three things: the symmetry, the body cavity, which is coelom, and what? And the germ layer. Porifera, if they are talking about symmetry, body cavity, and germ layer, know that Porifera does not have anything among the what? Among the three characteristics. If the half of the body symmetry of Porifera, you say it's asymmetry. If the half of the body cavity, you say that it does not have anyone, it's acoelomate. If the half of germ layer, it does not have germ layer. But starting from Cnidaria now to Echinodermata, just pick Cnidaria and Echinodermata, pick them as the one that have radial symmetry. So in all the invertebrate phylum, it is two phyla that has radial symmetry. What and what? Cnidaria and Echinodermata. That shows that any other phylum apart from the Porifera that does not have a symmetry, all other one are bilateral. That's a code. Cnidaria and Echinodermata, they are the only radially symmetrical organism of invertebrate, phylum of invertebrate. All other one are bilateral. So if you are given option, if you are seeing nematode, Cnidaria, mollusca, you would not have to hack your brain. Just know that Cnidaria and Echinodermata is only Cnidaria, radially symmetric organism. Then when we are talking about body cavity, so Porifera, that one is just out of it. It does not have coelom before. So Platyhelminthes and Cnidaria and Platyhelminthes, so they are acoelomate. Nematoda is the only pseudocoelomate. So while other one are what? Coelomate. Platyhelminthes and Cnidaria, they are acoelomate. Nematoda are pseudocoelomate. So while other one are what? Coelomate. So when you have options of these phyla, so you be able to bring your answer out quickly. So it is only Cnidaria that is diploblastic. So all other one are what? Tripoblastic. So it is only Cnidaria that what? That is diploblastic. All other one are tripoblastic, except Porifera does not have germ layer. So tripoblastic only ectoderm and endoderm. Tripoblastic ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So like that. And we've come to the end of today's class. We've come to the end of today's class. If you have any question, if you understand the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom, which is evolution among organisms that we've done this topic, understand it from the first class up to this moment, kindly